But howdy, everybody. Um, hope everyone had a week. I am wearing my long sleeve robe tonight because I gave myself a good case of poison ivy this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew this already, but for others' benefit, it's not just the leaves that have the urushiol, the oil that's the irritant. The stems and the roots have it too. And it's still very early in the spring, and so things haven't budded out. And so I didn't identify the vines that I was pulling up and rolling up and putting in a trash bag. And well, I figured it out several days later when it all turned very, red and nasty. So yeah, fun. Um, it's funny. I was wearing work gloves, but I had nothing on my arms. So um, don't do like that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video that I released over the weekend. And our new thing is, don't be like New Age Sally. And I feel like this is sort of an almost a don't be like New Age Sally, moment. Don't do that. You'll pull up something and give yourself a rash later. Fun. And it's funny. I have never had poison ivy before in my life. Because I've always been careful and I know what it looks like, but yeah, this time that wasn't creepers that I was pulling up. So there you
the
go.
worst kind of creeper.
Yeah.
No, it's not the worst kind.
Hmm. Oh goodness.
Oh no.
Oh goodness. Now I noticed y'all were talking about makeup. I had to toss some makeup. I had, and I'm almost kind of sad that I threw it out, but I had some erase. It looks like lipstick, but it's flesh tone, so you can use it to, cover up dark circles and things like that. I had some that my mother gave to me 30 some odd years ago, and I had it for a long time until sometime within the last probably 6 years or so. And then I said, this stuff is so old, I need to get some new. Unfortunately, none of the stuff that I've gotten since has been as good as that, that old one from the 70s.
That's probably that 70s makeup, that 70s Maybelline erase.
Maybe I remember it had a metal container. So
that was Maybelline.
Okay. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I know that because my mom used to make it.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, I guess I need to look for some more. But yeah, so and then put some on that poison ivy. I don't know. So yeah. And sarcastic, you're saying, doing eye makeup for pet run pet, and then the next day regrets. Now I will tell a quick story about somebody I knew from a local Wiccan coven back in the double aughts, and he was describing a ritual that somebody did where the oil that they used to anoint everyone before they came into circle and draw the little pentagram shapes on their foreheads was cinnamon oil. And after a ritual, he figured that out, and he's sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to show up to work the next, the next Monday, with a red pentagram on my forehead." But yeah, but he lucked out on that one. But yeah, don't use straight cinnamon oil, or like you were saying, regrets.
Use capsaicin instead.
Okay. Oh, Ashley, you never had it either, but not allergic to it. Made a vine headboard out of it. It took several years before. Found out it was poison ivy. A friend had a massive reaction to it. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Was it a male friend? A female friend?
I don't know. Well, you can answer at your own discretion of that. But that's kind of crazy. But one, I was telling everyone that I'm wearing my long sleeve vestment tonight because I gave myself poison ivy this week. So I was cleaning up in the front yard and pulling some vines out that hadn't sprouted new leaves, so I couldn't identify them, and I didn't know that I was pulling up and rolling up and had scratched all over my arms with poison ivy. So yeah, I'm going to be asking for a few healing prayers because this stuff is, yeah. Darren you're saying something when I woke up this morning about poor thing because I woke up scratching.
She did. I looked over and that's all I saw. I was like, poor baby.
Yeah.
I would have kissed it and made it better, but
You don't want to do that.
No, I didn't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. So.
When it's all done, I'll do it.
Yeah, well,
I'll give you all the kisses you don't want.
We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks because this is probably going to take a while.
I try to love honor y'all. I do.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight we're honoring the appearance of Sobek in Ombos. And March, there's several things that are on the Cairo calendar relating to Sobek. And actually a couple of points where you actually, should refrain from eating seafood or fish because of some story in connection with Sobek. And it probably has to do with his role, over fish. But also there are a handful of stories relating to him either retrieving Horus's hands that his mother had cut off and thrown into the river. The story with that is, okay, if you remember in the contendings of Horus and Set tries to abuse his nephew, and Horus manages to defend himself, but he comes to his mother and says, mom, look what happened. And in a fit of fright that I guess only a deity could do this, she freaks out, cuts his hands off and throws him in the river. And she's probably like, mom, what'd you do that for? So she's, oh yeah, right, well, here, grew his hands back. But there's another version of the story where Sobek fetches them for him. And so it may have to do with that. And so you're not eating things that were harvested from the river because, you don't want to be eating something that doesn't belong to you, which is kind of interesting because this time of year is also, we're in the first Friday of Lent, and folks who are observing Catholics would be eating fish on Fridays. And down here, it's a big thing for Friday fish fries, and so that's another of those.
Oh man, I gotta go find a Catholic church.
There's one up the road.
Well, then I gotta go find it because they're doing fish fries up there.
Oh yeah, they do that. Well, they're probably going to expect you to participate, So, and I mean,
I'll give them a couple of bucks for a plate.
Don't send love, send money. But that's another of those interesting kind of cultural. Don't get me started, but a cultural clash because you're trying to avoid eating seafood or fish on a day when everybody else is probably going to be eating it. But actually, it would be a very specific day, and it's not this one. Today he's having a feast, so it's okay, and we'll be having some salmon later, but. He has an appearance in Ombos, which is the town that the native name was Nubet, and that was where there was a temple of Set for a long time. But then over time, that temple they I don't know, I guess maybe Set and Sobek decided to do a timeshare, and so you end up having parallel shrines for Horus and then Sobek. So he's having this day of feast. And now I'm imagining some kind of strange timeshare thing with Horus and Set and Sobek. So. Okay, and actually says a female friend who was helping her move and handled the headboard and got a reaction.
Oh,
That's
suck.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot of dinners involved in the. I'm sorry for that one.
Okay, a colloidal oatmeal. You know what? And I've heard about the oatmeal being good for that sort of thing, and like a poultice. I've also heard about tobacco leaves being good for that, so I'm probably going to experiment with some of that later. Yes, actually, and it's Ramadan all month. And
And yeah, I did check. While the sun is up, they're not supposed to consume any kind of food or drink anything.
right. Oh, I literally have a fish sandwich in front of me. Is it okay if I eat it? No, it's fine. The specific day, and again, I'll have to look on the Cairo calendar to tell you, which day. It's not on the day of feast. It is on a different day. That was kind of a bad day for Sobek. And so on that day, out of solidarity, we don't eat any fish because we don't want to get him in trouble.
Because he thought it was kind of a fishy day, so he just left it alone.
Different day, not today. So have that fish sandwich. You're good. So let's try to get started.
I love you.
Let me tell you, he's here for the entertainment, y'all. Oh, these cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me. It's Tefnut purifies me. Hail unto you, O Yonachuru. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands. Our purity is within our hearts. And we have cast out all evil that pertains to us. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. It's not that cold.
Lucky I can't get to because I get you. Wow.
Honestly, for me, that was rather refreshing.
Oh, you want?
Okay, so we will light our candle for Sobek. We'll also light. Hang on. Praise shoe. We'll light our candle for Mama Sekhmet, that she may bring peace and healing to all those who need it, and relief from poison ivy.
Poor baby.
Yeah. And also for Mahes, that he may continue to protect everyone who's in the path of spring weather.
And measles.
Yeah, that definitely be Sekhmet's department. Yeah. Just for the record, if anyone says, oh, I don't want to get vaccinated and, claim that they have a religious exemption, at least from, as Kemetic reform, I will not back you up on that. Get a vaccine.
Get your vaccines, people.
Yeah. The whole reason we have our tradition is because of science. So, social sciences, but still science. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra in all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, to everyone who is tuning in with us now, has been with us in the past, but will be joining us in the future. This eye of Horus comes, and we are all purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Hey, they match. So I got this from and then the faux turquoise icon of Sobek. So. You arise in the Achetes Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from Nun at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and hail and praise unto you, Sobek, Lord of Ombos. Hail and praise unto you, Unutru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at, and cast out his fet. May you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Take these, your cool waters, that are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Oh, you're not true. These cool waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, O Yanatru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great of purity. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you and adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. Oh, Yanatru, we give to you this eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, O Yanatru. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. And just a little bit of cultural fusion, something that I learned a long time ago from my neighbor Mama Chan and her fellow Buddhists. Something that they would do when they would make offerings at their Buddhist altars is because they would have water and they would have incense and fruit. The fruit would often be the food offering, but they would also include oftentimes some fresh cooked rice, which in a traditional, Japanese house, there's always going to be fresh cooked rice.
Always, almost no matter any hour of the day.
Yeah. And so Mama Chan would make a little rice ball and then sprinkle like sesame seeds or something on it. And so I did sort of like that with some fresh cooked rice. It's just the seasoning I put on it is za'atar, which is a Middle Eastern seasoning. So it's a little bit of fusion. I figured that would be something appropriate for Sobek. And also remembering our friends who are with us in spirit. The gardens prospered. Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We filled the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, Sobek, O Yunachuru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Pure, pure is Ra Horaketi within his house. Pure, pure is Sobek, Lord of Ombos, within his house. Pure the cause of all of these gods, with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure for Ra Horaketi, for Sobek, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Sobek. Come to your bodies, O Yunachuru, and come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba, to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people, raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra and before Sobek. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. O Ra Horaketi, and your son, the Osirinisun of Keprera, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. And our thanks also for the super sticker. And now, from the table of the gods, we turn to the table of the blessed dead. And we light this candle